Maria, thank you so much for joining us here at IMpower in Monaco. It's lovely to see you.
Delighted to be here.
Great, and there's lots of discussions around one of the key topics that I think we're going to be talking about now, which is tech. How is it disrupting the industry, and how is Citi currently sort of leveraging that disruptive tech in terms of providing digital solutions for clients?
Well, we're about to go live with our digital TA solution, and it actually is quite exciting. And so the genesis of it is that we were in transfer agency for a very, very long time, and 10 years ago we decided to get out of it. And now we've decided that we want to be in it. And it gave us an opportunity not to build it the way we had built it in the past, or like the industry expects you to build it. And so with how technology has moved on, and with digitization and tokenization and everything that we're listening to this morning in the conference, it provided us with this amazing opportunity to kind of take a step back and think about how could we adopt it for something that is incredibly complicated in part of our value chain in security services. And what the benefit that it's going to bring is that when you're a security services provider and you bring on a new client, you have to ask them for a lot of information, copies of their passport. No more. We've digitized the entire process. We can go to sites all around the world and collect that information. Then we digitize, once we have that information, to the fund distributors. So the actual benefit here is not only is it a more efficient process for us, but actually it enables our clients to get money in and out of their funds quicker, and probably be the first managers to have their funds on the shelves for resale.
It sounds like amazing streamlining from what you're describing. In terms of different areas, as we see assets move from sort of higher cost active mutuals to the lower cost passives or even ETFs, how is Citi now positioned in terms of what you've just described to help support clients in retaining assets in that sense?
Yeah, we've got about 2 used cases where we've really helped clients out as they've moved from, we'll say, mutual funds to ETFs. And so we're not an asset manager at Citi. We're very much, a networked bank with a very, very large security services presence. And what we were able to do is we have a great markets business, and we were able to put an entire value chain of what it would take a manager to get the best of an ETF service. And then we also built our own technology, brand new technology as well, because we hadn't really been in the ETF space for that. So it gave us this opportunity to, again, do something new. And what we've been able to do is a large US manager, very, very large in the mutual fund space, decided, I really think I need to be in the ETF space. And we were able to convert them instantly onto this new platform that we have. Similarly, in Europe at the moment, where we're based, we have this large Asian asset manager stroke bank who is creating a platform that is going to enable other managers do this. And instead of that manager having to invest in setting up ETF team, ETF technology, that actually we are going to help them with this platform so that they can have a dip their toe into it, so to speak. And then if they decide that is for them, then they can set up their own platform. But it's been amazing to watch how managers who have best of breed mutual funds so well established out there, and then want to get into the space, and we've been able to enable them without them having to cost them or their investors an awful lot of money to set up the strategy.
You seem genuinely very excited and proud of what you're doing at the moment.
It is. We are, and I think because of who we are at Citi, we're very proud of being innovative. Our CEO, Jane Fraser, is an incredibly passionate woman, and I think we all take her passion and want to be as passionate as she is every day and fulfill the dream that she has for all of us. But at the same time, we shouldn't think that we can do everything, that we're it's just us, right? So we have this group, and they go out and they vet hundreds of fintech companies, startups, and they look at what it is they're doing. And some of them, you would think on the face of it, have nothing to do with banking services or security services, but when you dig really deep into what they're doing with the technology and you think, how can that be used for the services that Citi offers, it's a very, very good thing. And so actually being open to looking outside to bring in the best, to make you the best, especially for your clients, and clients' excellence is how we have to look at things going forward.
Seeking out the expertise
Yes.
that's not within, if you like. Just moving back to what we were talking about in terms of the change of approach, what does that mean in terms of fee structures, and what are clients expecting in terms of fee pressures, if you like, in that environment too?
Fee pressure has been, I think it's been out there in the industry for a very, very long time, over a decade now. And I do think that with the digitization of TA, when you really think about looking at a provider like Citi, who is a very networked bank, where there isn't a country really we're not in, and when you think of the value that brings, so we know that when a client banks with us in Securities Services or the bank overall, that when they say do 10 markets, we're efficient for them. When they bank with us in 20 markets, because we're able to give them the leverage and scale, that actually really, really helps them to be more efficient with their fee structure. And so I think, like everything else in the industry, everybody's always going to be under pressure. But I also think we're here, and we've seen so many discussions on digital tokenization, that the more the industry embraces new technologies, new way of doing it, I do think that will really, really help with the cost. And I think it will no longer become a cost, it'll become how can you get this to market first?
And what you've touched on there probably is touching on the next question I was going to ask you, which is about what are your key differentiators, and what you've described in terms of scale and things there is probably where it's at.
Yes, so we're a very focused business at Citi. We have our services business and we have our banking business. And when you think about creating a global service, a global solution, to actually have people on the ground who are not only servicing those assets on the ground, but are discussing it with the regulators, the influencers in the market. We are now the largest network custodian out there. But what differentiates us is not only that is a huge differentiator, because people then trust, I know where my assets are. I know exactly where they are in the value chain. But I think what is even better about that is it's the people and it's the infrastructure that we can, if something should happen in a crisis, and we've seen a few, that we have people on the ground who can navigate and bring that value back to the client.
It's quite nice to hear you say that people are at the heart of it, after all this discussion about AI and tech, isn't it, as well? At the root of it, you've got to have those great teams, haven't you, as well?
You cannot underestimate that this is a people business. But if you build it in the right way with the right technology, and you look to help your employees really understand the value chain and where they add value, the beauty of that is that you automatically get client excellence. And at the end of the day, if we don't have client excellence, what are we really doing? So it is people.
Maria, over the next 12 months, where are you going to be focused, just finally? What's the next exciting thing for you guys?
So we have, obviously we're implementing and onboarding our new digital TA system. We have a great partnership with Aladdin on the middle office. We have done some fantastic things in Australia, and we have done some fantastic things in the Nordics. So it's really going to be building on from those and making the transactions we've done, really bringing them to life and doing more of the same. And I know that probably sounds very, very boring, but actually doing more of the same, but doing it in a different way, leads to bigger and better things.
Constant evolution by the
sound
of
it. That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. It was great to talk to you.
Very welcome. Thank you.